the jab.
Right.
And then use our, instead of a round kick or countering with a 2, we're gonna do a side kick. So we're gonna come in with the jab, boom, load, side kick. You barely touch me, I'm wearing this pad, and I can still feel it. It's ridiculous.
It's definitely gonna be a
let's speed it, let's gradually speed it up. So we'll do like 4 or 5 takes and we'll speed it up, just don't hit me too hard.
No. No.
Touch it a little bit. Oh, man, I can feel it, bro. It's good. Man, that's devastating.
I really like that step out because it allows us to automatically open our hips up.
So I see like you look like, even though I'm facing this way, you look like you're ready to just run in that direction. So that's basically where we want our foot placement.
Yeah, I'm almost like I'm going. It looks like you're going to be like you're changing the angle. That's exactly what you're doing. You're taking that angle, but rather than readjusting the setup for the hands and giving you time to readjust, I'm going straight off of it to the side kick.
That's beautiful, man. That's textbook Taekwondo into MMA or into boxing,
right?
Into kickboxing.
And it's I think the thing I like most about it is because it allows people to open their hips up when they haven't thrown that. When they haven't done this a lot, it's hard for them to get that hip to roll around. They can automatically kind of be in that position.
Where their hips are.
So it makes it easier to throw without having to have thrown a million side kicks already.
For those of you guys watching this that don't know or have never been hit with a side kick before in your liver, in your ribs, in your anywhere. It's one of the sharpest. Might not be one of the most mass powerful kicks, but it's definitely a stabbing kick. That'll drop it. I mean, it'll drop.
Well, you have to consider the amount of surface area that you're being hit with. When you throw it right, you're only hitting with this much of the blade of your foot.
Let's get that camera over here, buddy.
When you throw the side kick, you're hitting with right there. So it's a very small surface area being driven in, whereas opposed to a round kick, you see just the very edge of that heel. But with a round kick, you've got a much bigger surface area.
Right.
So all that pressure
kind of absorb it too.
Yeah, you can
better.
I can kind of roll with it. This is more like, think about getting hit with a brick or the head of a hammer. You know what I mean? A brick's gonna hurt, but it's gonna, oh man, but the head of a hammer is gonna drive, it's gonna penetrate.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I think the side kick's so devastating, especially when you get under that floating rib, on this side especially, because the liver is
there.
Yep.
But yeah, guys, so one more time, we'll demonstrate. All right, guys, so we showed a devastating side kick counter to a jab, where we'll do a recap real quick. Step off, chamber kick, re-chamber, back down, Taekwondo style side kick. Let's talk a little bit about the importance of that chamber and re-chamber.
Speed. The first thing that any chamber on any kick, especially, and this is one thing that a lot of guys that come from more of a Muay Thai background don't realize when they're throwing their head kicks, is that even on the round kick, if I'm here, I can extend this a lot faster than I can swing all this mass of my leg, swinging it. So the first thing that you're dealing with is increased speed. The second thing is, a lot of times, guys will go to throw the kick, and what is the guy gonna do? He's here, right? My shin's not here yet. He's going like this. He's wanting to stop and maybe catch that kick. It's not there. His arm comes out, whoop, and then my foot's coming in afterwards. The other thing that it allows me to do is allows me to change my target mid-kick. I can be here, turn it to the body, or I can be here, take it to the head. Same thing with a side kick. If I go to just kind of throw my foot out there, my foot is moving directly to my target. So there's no adjustment. But if I'm here, and I chamber it first, it can throw here, I can throw it higher, I can, thigh, anywhere, this is the same thing as if this is coming from here. Straight off and back. It's gonna increase my speed, it's gonna allow me to change my target, and
so our punches are chambered.
Our punches are essentially chambered all the time. They stay there chambered.
Right.
right? I'm not out here trying to swing my arms, but you want it to be enough that it's a snapping kick. This isn't a real swinging, like we talked about earlier in the video, a mass movement that's really doing all the work. It's that blade of that heel that's striking and doing all the damage. So speed, changing my target, and keeping my opponent off guard so he doesn't exactly know where that kick's gonna be. That's important on every kick, whether it's a front kick, a round kick, a hook kick. In any kick that you throw, the chamber is gonna be a big thing when you're talking about those three main things.
Okay. So let's get right into it, guys, as far as that countering the two with a side kick. So we're gonna throw the two, step off, chamber, kick, right back down. This is devastating because this is to the liver side. It's probably a little bit harder to hit off the two than it was off the jab. But I think that the damage is much more because we're actually gonna get that liver. So one more time, step off, two, chamber, right back down.
Now, one thing that I do notice on this side, you're not as close to your target. So the chamber doesn't need to be quite as tight when you're throwing it from the one, because I'm a little farther away, you know. But when I go this way, he has also really moved in. So now we're closer. Now this makes that chamber even more important because I've got to get my leg up so I can drive that power out toward it.
Okay.
So the chamber, you really got to focus on the chamber when you're on this side, because you can throw it from way in tight. I can still, if I let my hips open up properly, I can still, even though I'm in striking zone with my hands, I can still drive that side kick up and under that floating rib and really crush that liver. So I think the chamber on this side is a little more important.
Man, I can feel it. I love it. Subscribe.
Okay, so having a little bit of a hard time getting that heel to be, that blade of that heel to be the thing that's striking your opponent. Just stand flat-footed, and it's a little hard on your ankles at first. You got to really work the stretch, but roll and just kind of roll your weight over and get your foot up as high as you can. So see how my foot, the bottom of my foot, is vertical. Right, that's going to help get those.
If you had black and gray socks, I think you'd have an easier time.
Maybe. But and then once you are here, try and lift your foot off the ground, right? And see now just the back, 1.5 inches, 2 inches of my heel is what's actually,
which is what you're kicking with,
which is what you're trying to strike with.
Okay.
So that's going to help just get that foot in that natural position to be able to throw the kick. The other thing is curling your toes back will help a little bit. If you try to leave your toes flat, it's kind of hard to get your foot back out of the way once you're in the air, once your kick's going out. So curl your toes back, just kind of roll and stretch that ankle, get used to that position. And it'll take your belt, and you can get against the wall. It'll help you out with your balance a little bit, and just hook it on your foot, right? Just like that, right in the instep of your, right in the arch of your foot, and then stand against the wall, turn your toe toward the wall, and pull up. This is gonna help try and push the blade of your foot. See how my foot's rolled over like we were talking about? There you go. And then that's also helping pull your toes back. There's another good stretch, and it's going to help that right there, just below the groin, where you feel that stretch. That's going to be kind of the tension spot for this side kick. It's a little different than the other kicks that'll really help with your range of motion to be able to throw it higher if you need to.